finishing up a stretch of 4 games in 7 days. The Central Missouri men's basketball team got in one last contest before the student athletes are back in school. Saturday, January 10th, 2015, it's the Mules taking on Emporia State. First half, just a few minutes into the game, Rakeem Dickerson to Dylan Deck. Deck rolls on the baseline, gets a score over his head. 5-0 UCM early. TJ White spins and shoots, gets his own rebound, and eventually gets the bucket. Mules have scored the first 7 points unanswered. Actually, make that 9 unanswered when Brennan Hughes goes to work in the paint. We're at the 14-minute mark, 9-0 Mules. Emporia scores its first points when the clock reads 13:47. Mules not letting up though. Kyle Wolf takes the pass, makes the bucket. UCM up 13-4. Jordan Epps with the ball, drives a little bit, does the spin move, but then kind of finds himself stuck. Not a problem. Epps hits a little jumper without traveling as the shot clock expires. Mules lead by 9. Halfway to halftime, Preston Bruns drives and scores, draws the foul, makes it good for 3 points, 18-7 UCM. 6:30 to play, Dickerson grabs a defensive rebound, hustles out at full speed, then unselfishly gives the ball to Epps. Epps thanks him with a nice-looking 3. Mules have a 16-point lead on the Hornets, 26-10. A last-second 3 from Dickerson ends the first half. Central Missouri heads to the locker room, beating Emporia State 36-24. Second half is a lot of the same. Mules holding a double-digit lead most of the time, but we're going to skip all the way ahead to 5:46 left in the game. UCM up 10. Jay Timmett hits a long shot. That brings it back to 57-50 Mules. Not a problem because Rakeem Dickerson answers, 60-50 UCM. Emporia really starting to make shots here, but in the next 3 minutes, they don't get any closer than 6 points. That changes with 1:11 on the clock. Terrence Moore scores on a layup. Suddenly a 2-possession game. Mules only up 66-62. Dickerson is fouled on UCM's next possession. He hits both. Back to 6-point lead for the Mules. Emporia ball, less than 30 seconds to go. UCM trying not to foul. Javon Taylor makes a 3. He hit 4 of those in the second half. 68-65 Mules. Dickerson barely steps out of bounds, but the ref right there to see it. Hornets get the ball. 20 seconds on the clock. Inbounds to Emporia's Moore, who has scored 20 in the second half. Taylor tries a 3. No good. Ball gets fumbled around. Emporia gets it back. Moore tries a second 3. No good. Hornets rebound again. One more chance from Taylor. That one he makes. There are 2 seconds on the clock. It's a tie ball game, 68-68. Time expires. We're going to overtime. UCM's Brennan Hughes on the bench with 5 fouls. First possession of the extra period, Emporia's Moore steals the ball from the Mules, takes it on a fast break, easy layup. It's 70-68 Hornets. With 2:28 left in overtime, Emporia gets up 7 on the Mules. Then with 46 seconds on the clock, Dickerson scores. Basket counts. He shoots an extra one for the foul. That brings it down to 79-76 UCM trailing. 30 seconds left. Kyle Wolf makes it a 1-point game with 2 made free throws. But Terrence Moore continues to steal the show. He makes this layup. Refs call Rakeem Dickerson for an intentional foul. Moore makes the extra shot. Then Emporia gets the ball back up by 4. 2 more made at the foul line, seals the deal for the visiting Hornets. Mules can't do anything in the final 23 seconds. Emporia State upends number 17 Central Missouri in overtime, 84-78.
It's just one of those games where we should have wrapped it up a long time ago. I can think back to 26-10. We had them on the ropes. We turned the ball over 3 straight times, and it was a deal where, and this has kind of been a continued deal for us, is where we let our offense dictate our defense, and we didn't. Once we turned it over, we didn't get that same intensity back defensively. I thought we came out with some good energy, and we let our offense dictate our defense. And in the second half, we just relaxed, and they got any shot we wanted. We didn't pay attention to the scouting report. Basically, we let up and gave them a ton of confidence. and against teams in this conference, if you give them a glimmer of hope, a little bit of confidence, especially they're excited to play us, with tradition, with everything, and that can't happen. We aren't talented enough where we can just turn the light switch on and off, and we turned it off and couldn't get it back. We just made dumb mistakes down the stretch.
Emporia's Terrence Moore finished with 38 points after only scoring 7 in the first half. Javon Taylor had 20 after hitting 5 three-pointers. The Hornet bench contributed 32 points. The Mules recorded 18 turnovers, and that ended up as 24 points for Emporia. UCM did have 4 players score in double figures. Rakeem Dickerson led the way with 22 points. Dylan Deck finished with 14, Brennan Hughes 12, and Preston Bruns had 10 points. TJ White scored 8, but added 10 rebounds. The loss drops number 17 Central Missouri to 13-3 on the season. Still a pretty good record, but now the Mules are 4-3 in MIAA games, sitting in a tie for 6th place in the league standings. However, it should be pointed out that there is currently a 3-way tie for first place between teams with just a 5-2 conference record, and a 2-way tie for 4th place between Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern, who are both 4-2 in the league. In Warrensburg, I'm Katie Smith for UCMathletics.com.